you can outwork 90% of all Americans. You can be in the top 10% of everything you do the rest of your life if you're willing to work. Right? And I found that to be true. The second thing they told me was, always go where the best people are. Right? Always go where the best people are, because they will pull you up. They will make you better than you are, because you're around the right people. So that formula has been my formula for success my whole life. Okay? And I've run that formula over and over and over and over. Okay? And it's not very hard to be good. It's not very hard. It just requires effort. Most people don't want it. Right? They don't want to invest the effort. Okay? It's that simple. It's not, and I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying it's good or it's bad. I'm not saying the people are good or bad. It's just most people want to be great without great effort. It doesn't work that way. Okay? Anybody that tells you you do is pretty much lying to you. Usually the person that is the most successful is the guy usually that has worked the hardest. Usually the guy who gets the A is usually the guy that did what the most? Studied the most. It's pretty simple. Okay? So it's a very simple thing to be good, if you want to be good. The real question that you have to ask and answer yourself is, are you willing to pay the price? See, there's a price to be paid for everything. Everything in life, there's a price that is required to be paid. You have to decide if you're willing to pay the price. See, now a lot of people don't like the message that I give, because it all falls back. How good you become has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with you. See? Okay? It all goes back to you. Okay? So, how hard do you want to work? As an example, to buy a Cadillac, there's a price to pay a Cadillac. Say it's $50,000. Let's say one guy has a job and he's making $50 an hour. He's only got to work 1,000 hours to get the Cadillac. Everybody understand? But I don't have the genetic capability he does as an athlete, or I don't make $50 an hour. I only make $25 an hour. So I can buy the Cadillac, same thing as he can, right? I can buy the same thing that he can, but it's going to cost me how many hours? 2,000 hours. Okay? So I have to decide if I'm willing to what? If I'm willing to pay the price. Okay? And that's the way it works. As my parents said, you can outwork 90% of all Americans. Okay? I've done 4 things in my life. I've been an athlete, I've been a soldier, I've been a businessman, and I've been a coach. And I've been in the top 1% in each one of those. And I'm as average and ordinary as anybody. I had a 2.4 in high school, and I had a 2.4 in college. Okay? But I have been able to succeed because I will invest time that most people won't. Most people at 4:30, when they go home because they're what? Tired. Okay? Becoming an Army Ranger, right, is probably one of the greatest things that I did in my life. And I was an honor graduate, which means I was one of the top ones in my class. We started with 300, 91 of them graduated. The whole thing about Ranger School is teaching you how to function when you get tired. Okay? And not just tired in the military sense. It's tired every day. You get tired every day at work. And it's 4:30 and most people want to do what? They want to go home. Okay? But if you're in sales, can you stay until 5:30 and make another 20 calls? Okay? Can you do that? Okay? Okay? If you've been given your homework and all your buddies go out and run around, they want to come and get you, can you stay for 2 hours and get your homework done so you can get an A? Okay? And so what you have to do is, you have to decide. Now, there's 2 things that are very important when I talk to people. One is perspective. The way you look at the world is the way the world is. Okay? So you get to choose the way the world is. Okay? Here's my rule of thumb too. When you're sitting in a group like this, you do not sit down. You do not lay backwards. You do not put your hands on your hands. If you do, 50 push-ups. Just my rule. Okay? Okay? So perspective is very important. The way you look at the world is the way the world is. But something other other than that, that is the most important thing, and it's the second greatest gift that God has given you, and it's called choice. See? Choice is an unbelievably powerful thing. And most young people and most people in life don't understand how powerful it is. Most people think that choice is just the choice between the good and the evil. The choice goes way beyond that. Okay? God has given you the choice to be anything and do anything that you want to do. Now, you as young people don't think you have very much power. Okay? Because everybody's telling you what to do all the time, right? But every day, you make infinite choices that you decide. And those choices will take you different places. They will take you to either really good places, or they will take you to very bad places. And it's up to you to decide what you're going to do with it. Okay? And it's about choice. Okay? It's about you get to choose what you're going to do. And so what you have to decide is what you're going to do. It's the second greatest gift that God has given you. Because every day, you make an infinite number of choices. You got up this morning, you choose what you're going to eat. You chose whether you're coming here. You chose whether you're going to be a wrestler or not. Okay? You chose what you're going to wear here. Okay? You're going to choose when you leave here what technique you're going to work on. You're going to choose whether you're going to believe what the coaches say or not. All those choices, you choose what music you listen to, what programs you listen to, whether you like PlayStation or not. All those infinite choices are going on all the time. And who's making them? You're making them. See? So you get to choose what you do with life. Okay? If you were sitting in front of Almighty God, okay, and God said to you, who would you like to be in your life? Who would you really like to be? Would that be cool or what? Would that be cool? Be anybody you want to be? Well, that's exactly what God has given you. He's giving you that choice. He's giving you the choice to be. You can be stingy, egotistical, self-centered, okay, egocentric, chintzy, okay? You can be a jerk, or you can be thoughtful, loving, caring, helpful. You get to be whoever you want to be. It is a great thing, and it is a great power, okay, if you use it correctly. Okay? Now, people don't like the message because it goes to how good do you want to be in wrestling? Who is it up to? It's up to you. Most people know what to do to be successful. Most people do. If I ask you all right now to write me a paper and tell me what you have to do to get an A in a class, pretty much all of you can tell me what it is. But I'm willing to bet you're not all A students because you made other choices. You made choices to watch TV, play PlayStation, hang out with your buddies, make a phone call, get a part-time job. You make all these other choices. So the beauty about being a wrestler and the beauty about life is you get to choose who you want to be. You get to choose how good a wrestler you want to be. See? It's up to you. It's not up to me. And if you want to be good, you have to work at it. Okay? And it's not that hard, I don't think. It just requires a whole lot of effort. When everybody else goes, you stay. You work. Okay? One of the things, there's a guy by the name of Dan Gable. We were on the Olympic team together in '72. And we coached together for 12 years at Iowa. And the one thing, I didn't mean, we were together for a long time. And in those 12 years we were together, we won the NCAA 9 out of 12 years. 9 out of 12 years. Which means, and you probably don't know who John Wooden is. John Wooden was an all-star basketball guy. We were better than John Wooden. Right? We were better than John Wooden. Right? But the one thing that Gable said, of all the things being around Gable that I remember, is he said this: you can always do more. Okay? You can always do more. You can always do one more push-up. If you're in sales, you can make one more phone call. Okay? If you're doing your homework, you can do one more problem. Okay? You can do one more thing. Okay? And the thing is, the choice is up to you. And what happens is it becomes, right? The most important thing is it becomes who you want to be. Who do you want to be and what do you want to do? And so you get to choose who you want to be. You get to choose how good a wrestler you're going to be based upon how much you what? Effort you put into it. Okay? So a lot of it's up to you. The majority of life is up to you guys. What you get out of it. Now, you guys are just starting your life, okay? You guys are like, okay, you got 85%, okay? You've used up about 15% of your life. So you got about 85% to go forward, okay? I'm on the last 15%, okay? I'm on the backside, okay? I'm on the backside. But it's a wonderful life if you get out there and get involved in it, okay? And I would encourage you, not just beside wrestling, but I would encourage you to get into the game, right? One of the things that I see with young people, that freaking phone, right? I would tell you to get rid of the phone if you can. It's not something you need. I see young people living through the phone, and nobody does anything anymore. Jackie Robinson, the great baseball player, said, okay, don't be a spectator in life. Get into the game. Do the things that life has to offer. Do the fun stuff, see? And so the key that you do as you go through this life, you only get to go through it once. So it's very important for you to decide what you want to do with it. What do you want to do? How much fun do you want to have? Or do you want to sit at home and play PlayStation, okay, and not do anything? And get on your phone and see somebody else climb Mount Whitney. Mount Whitney here in California, you know what it is? Anybody know what Mount Whitney is? It's the highest mountain in continental United States. Why don't you go climb it? See, I think life is to be lived. I think life is to be enjoyed. I've chased wild horses. I've jumped out of planes. Right? I got a private pilot's license. I can fly planes. I can scuba dive. Right? I've been to war. I've been all over the world. Right? I've driven race cars. I've done a lot of different things in my life. And it doesn't make me any better than anybody else. I'm not any better, but I am different. Okay? Life to me is to be enjoyed. It's to be cherished. Okay? It is great. If I had one wish, okay? If I had one wish, I would wish to be a Highlander. Now you don't know what a Highlander is, but a Highlander is immortal, never dies. Okay? And it's not because I want to live forever. It's because as a Highlander, okay, I can enjoy all the different things that are fascinating. In one lifetime, I could be a cop. In another one, I could be a teacher. In another one, I could be a soldier. In another one, I could be a venture capitalist. In another one, I could be a doctor. And I could be a dentist. All these exciting things. I could jump out of planes. I could chase wild horses. I could drive race cars. Okay? Life is an exciting thing. But you got to get into the game. Okay? And one of the things with the younger generation is you do so much on this freaking phone that you never really live life. I mean, it fascinates me. It's like you're hooked to the phone. Okay? And it's like you're actually being conditioned that all your enjoyment, all your recreation, everything comes from that freaking phone. And it's different. Get on the deal and see what it's like on the phone to be at the top of Mount Whitney. And then go down to Bishop and climb Mount Whitney. And get to the top of that 14,000 thing. And feel good of the effort that you invested in it. And you're sitting at the top of that mountain, 14,498 feet. And feel the elation you get from what you have just accomplished. You can't get that on that freaking phone. And they're conditioning you to get everything on this thing. Okay? And life is to really be enjoyed. It's an exciting thing. It's a fun thing to do. But you got to get into the game. Wrestling is an unbelievable part. Wrestling will give you things that most people don't get. Okay? The thing about wrestling, and I tell this to people, the difference between wrestling and any other sport, okay? When we won the Nationals in 2001, one of the writers wrote a story about us, and he said this: at their very base, football, basketball, hockey, tennis, gymnastics, okay, you go on and on, swimming, they're fun, okay? There's nothing fun about wrestling except winning, okay? It's what? It's hard work, okay? And that's why people don't get into it. That's why young kids don't get into it, because it's freaking hard. Nothing easy about it. Okay? But if you hang with it, the lessons that it will teach you are amazing. You'll learn what toughness is. You'll learn how to deal with adversity. You'll have self-confidence. Why? Because when you walk in that circle, there ain't one. lessons as you go through this in high school, and if you go on to college, you go on in, those lessons will help you become who you will be in the world. And who you become in the world will point you in different places. So it's a pretty cool place to be. Okay? The majority of you will not stay in it like I have. And if somebody would have told me when I was your age, that at age 69 I would still be doing this, I'd tell them they were freaking crazy. Okay? But it has opened up a lot of doors. It's shown me a lot of things. Okay? It's given me a lot of stuff. Okay? And it will give those same things to you. Because it's hard and it's demanding. Not many people can do it. There's a reason for it. Okay? It doesn't make you any better than anybody else to be a wrestler. But it does make you different. Okay? And you get skills and develop skills over the course of doing this. No matter how long you do it, it will stay with you forever. So it's pretty cool. Okay? It's pretty cool. It's helped me do a whole lot of stuff in my life. Okay? And pretty much everything I own is to what I done, right? Starting a business, learning how to do that, it all comes back from having the confidence to do it. Right? Jumping out of planes, it has the confidence. Right? All these things I can relate back to where you are right now, where I was 50-some years ago. So I would encourage you to stay with it. Okay? I would encourage you to work at it. I would encourage you to become as good as you can at it. Because the things that it will give you are amazing. Okay? It'll give you a lot of stuff in life. So it's a pretty cool thing. Pretty cool thing to be. Okay? And then what we did today, I would encourage you to think about your wrestling. Go down and write on a piece of paper what your move is, and then start working on it. Always ask, why? How can I get here? Why does this work? Why does this not work? And then ask people. Okay? There's an amazing amount of coaches around here that will help you be as good as you want to be. But you have to what? You have to ask. The Bible says, ask and you will. You see, if you don't ask, you won't receive. It's pretty simple. And people want to help you. They want to help you get better. Okay? And then find some people. Pick up some people and figure out, why is Dan Gable? Right? Everybody will tell you about training and how hard to train. Right? One of the things in life today, it's in business, it's everywhere. Okay? It's always work smarter, not harder. Okay? That's the deal. Okay? I don't believe that. I believe that whoever works the hardest, okay, your body can do some amazing things if you train it that way. If you don't train it that way, it won't do anything. Okay? I have so much confidence in my body. I've been operated on almost over 40 times. Okay? It's amazing what my body will do to fix itself. Okay? And you guys got a good one. See? I think you got a good one now. Okay? It's only got to last another 15 or 20 years, and that's okay. Okay? But you got this young body. Okay? If I was to go back and start all over wrestling, all over again, what would I do to be really, really good? I would build my body into a machine. I would work so hard I would outwork everybody else. I watched, and I was with Dan Gable for 12 years. We were on the Olympic team and world team, 71 and 72. And I watched how he trained. And everybody would say today, he overtrained. Okay? But you can't ever overtrain until you find out what your limits are. And you can't find your limits until you push yourself. Okay? You can't sit here and talk about mental toughness. Okay? You can't sit here and talk about mental toughness and he give you a PowerPoint and show you on a movie or TV. It don't work that way. Okay? Until you face the other monster, until you get to where you're ready to quit, most important time of practice is the last 5 minutes. When you're at the wall and you're ready to quit. Then, and only then, do you make progress. Now, when you're ready to shut down, the question is, as David said, you can always do more. And when you get beyond that wall, okay, you know what will be on the other side of the wall? Another wall. Life is about going through one wall after another, after another, after another. Okay? And that's how you get mentally tough. Okay? You work at it, you get better at it. Okay? And everybody says when you get to a wall, you do what? You the summer. And we work with the Navy SEALs. Okay? We have a Navy SEAL come. They come every year, and we go through this test. We had a Navy SEAL come to this, and this Navy SEAL came, and what he did, okay,